right.
Okay.
Thanks.
I'm Doug Krevizak, and I'm joined by,
Ken Thompson.
and we're going to be your commentators this evening for the game between the Quebec women and the Nova Scotia women at the annual Travelers Curling Championships. So I think we're in for a great evening. Everybody has just finished their practice, and they're getting ready to start here in the first end.
Right, Doug, and both these teams, Quebec and Nova Scotia, are tied in their pool at 1 and 2, so they're very anxious tonight.
Yeah, we're getting down to the point where it's almost a must-win. You might be able to survive, but you're going to need a lot of help from the rest of the competition in your pool.
Yeah, we'll get into some of the standings in the different pools as we go along, but it's getting down to crunch time.
Okay, so live. Nova Scotia's first rock. She's called it into the rings, looking for a top 4.
And the Nova Scotia team is from the Mayflower, the famous Mayflower Curling Club in Halifax.
Yeah, not a lot of curling clubs across Nova Scotia like we're used to here in Ontario, but certainly a lot of Canadian champions have come out of that curling club. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
So Jody Vacheresse has delivered the first rock exactly where they wanted it. Top 4 looking for takeout here.
Yeah, the lead for Quebec is Mona Leonard from, and they play out of the Amos Curling Club, Club de Curling Amos in Amos, Quebec.
And they'll be keeping it clean. That was a hit and roll out. And Monica has asked Jody to replace that rock. Top 4 once again.
Be interesting to see, Doug, whether the ladies get into the game here in the first end, or whether they're going to keep it clean.
Well, this one might slip behind the rings and give the opportunity back to Quebec to either throw up a corner guard or she's decided to go to the wings.
Well,
I kind of like that call better.
Yeah, interesting because the Nova Scotia rock stayed in the back 12 foot, but Quebec's going to try to get something going here.
Yeah, this really plays into the wheelhouse for you can throw that corner guard up. They've got that rock at the back of the house to always draw down to try to secure their one, but this is a great way to get multiple here in the first end. Okay, well that has slipped into the rings, and I suspect that Nova Scotia will actually remove that rock.
And the second, Cheryl Millette Skeleton, right? Makes a nice in-turn hit on that Quebec stone.
Yeah, so now Halifax is lying 2. And Quebec's going to opt to try to hit that out of there. They could hit and roll directly in front of the rock in the back, or they can potentially play the double and probably keep that rock still in play.
Looks like she's sweeping it for trying the double, hitting on the high side.
Okay, but that's a rock that they're going to have to address. It's still a biter there, so she's going to go after it. She hits and rolls out, then we're looking at probably a blank end in this first end. So Mallette Skelton has been asked to remove that rock. And she's right on the money.
She's done a nice shot.
Nice roll. It makes it a very difficult double.
Yeah, absolutely. I think probably try to cross the nose a little bit and roll in front of the Nova Scotia rock in the back of the 8-foot.
Now it's a little wide. I don't think they're going to get a roll. They might get to nose.
Yeah, well, we saw in the previous draw that on Sheedy, there's a good curl, good finish on the draw shots, but with a little bit extra weight, they do tend to run pretty straight.
Okay, so the vice here for Nova Scotia, Caroline Waugh, has been asked to remove that rock, which is just biting. She seems to be a little full, and
yeah, I think she's got air.
Has got air, that's right. So advantage back to Quebec.
So the third, José Bédard, is asked for an in-turn hit on the Nova Scotia rock at the back. And they're working this one pretty hard. It's going to miss.
Yeah, it is curling with that in-turn. The ice maker here, Bill Duck, he's been doing the Travelers, I think, ever since it started some 7 years ago. And we're actually quite fortunate to have Bill as our ice maker here at this club. And his ice is amazing. It's very quick. He's got a lot of curl to it, and you just saw it there.
Yeah, the ice looks ideal from what I've seen live and also watching the telecasts. So now Nova Scotia sitting 2. Might be a force in here for Quebec to have to take one, potentially.
So José's been asked to remove that. It's the same one she just threw at, and it over curled. This one's moving as well.
Yeah.
So with that rollout, I suspect we're going to see them split the house here. So Skip Monica Moriarty will be asked to split the house. I think that's going to stay in the rings, and it just holds on to the back 12.
Yeah, they're actually sweeping that quite a bit till at least halfway, and then just slips into the back 12 foot.
Yeah, I think at this point in the end, it's no problem for Nova Scotia. Quebec's going to have to contend with that and hopefully hit and stay, and force Monica to obviously hit and stay if she wants to force them.
So Skip Sonia Simard is throwing an out-turn hit.
they're going hard on this now. They're trying to hold it to keep it. I think it's going to roll out.
She gets a piece.
So once more, Monica will be asked to split the house. You know, it's interesting that when you look across the field of play and all the people, they're not the ones that you normally recognize on television, which is actually an amazing thing. They're here at a national championship, and some not for their first time, but for their sterling, obviously, in their blood. Here with Monica Moriarty, you don't notice it from her name, but her older sister's Colleen Jones. So it runs in the family.
Yeah, right. And a nice shot by Skip Moriarty. And Sonia Simarda will have to play the hit and stay for one.
And we've seen the rocks curl quite a bit on this side of the sheet. So it'll be interesting to see. We haven't been out this far.
Yeah, and from the game we did here on draw 9, it actually looks like it might be curling more than the previous draw.
Yeah, I guess.
And they're not touching this one.
And she rolls out.
Hit and roll out. Nova Scotia steals one in number 1.
So here at the end of the first end, at the beautiful Ottawa Hunt Club, it's Nova Scotia 1, Quebec 0. And they pass the hammer over. Hammer's, well, actually, hammer stays with Quebec. So Jody's going to be asked to, again, descend, throw it into the top forefoot. Just lightly dusting it. It's coming to rest almost exactly where she wanted it.
Yeah, called and made. Right? And Quebec's going to try to get something going, throwing a corner guard.
It's interesting. She called the corner guard, but this is coming, it's a bit wide, and it looks actually a little bit heavy. She might have the perfect freeze on the one in the house.
Just a little bump, but
it's not going to hurt her that much.
Maybe we missed the switch in the collar.
That could have been. So Monica's asking Jody to try to remove this rock and just stay right there. You could hear them just say there, it's running pretty straight on this side, which is the exact opposite of that same side of the sheet on the way down. So, interesting.
Well, good shot. She looked like she was a little full on that one, but
finished just a nice for her at the end.
Yeah.
You know, this Travelers event's only been around for the better part of 7 years, but it's been an amazing event that's really contributed to grassroots curling. It's really brought life to the curling clubs and the curling club champions across this country. And every year, this event seems to get bigger and stronger. And I know, talking to the athletes here, that they're having a tremendous time, and they're so proud to wear their provincial colors and crests.
Yeah, it really is a fabulous event and a first-class operation. And I understand that this is the first year that Curling Canada has been involved in the event. And you might notice that the players are wearing hearts, which are symbolic of the provincial championship. So very proud to wear those hearts.
That's pretty special, to be able to wear a heart that represents your province. A lot of people fight for them, but few people get them.
Yeah.
You know, this was. I know we talk about the Travelers as being an amazing event, but this really was the brainchild of George Cook. George was the CEO for Dominion Insurance, recently retired, but it was his philosophy that we needed to do something more for grassroots curling, that we needed to build out this curling club enthusiasm. And so it was his idea to really build out this particular event and bring excitement and enjoyment back to those that were not going to get to the Brier or to the Scott. And you know what? It's been a tremendous success, not because George wrote the check, but he had the vision of what this could be. And he was here with us the other night for the opening ceremonies. And, you know, he talks about it, and he's just beaming ear to ear at just the fact that this event is being held. It's continuing, and now with the support of the CCA, or Curling Canada, you know, this is going to live on, just like our Brier, our Scott, for the seniors, for the juniors. It's another one of our seasons of champions.
Yeah, George is a great supporter of curling for many years, and I recall it was at a Brier in Calgary years ago. Oops, there's a miss. I got talking with some of the executives from the Dominion Insurance, and they were telling me about the idea for this event, and I was just so impressed with the dedication they had to growing the sport, and what a wonderful event it is.
Yeah, now George was very fortunate to have a team of people that worked both at Dominion and in the various brokerages across the country that would support this. You know, I curl with one fellow, John Shea, who had JSI Insurance, and Johnny worked tirelessly at supporting this event and helping George to make this thing the success that it is. I wouldn't give Johnny all that credit, but
yeah, don't tell him.
No, I won't. Yeah, don't tell him I said that. Yeah.
Meanwhile, back on the ice, there's been a couple of misses here, and
yeah, the ice must be really keening up, because the rocks are sliding through. They're sliding to the back 12.
Yeah, nice hit there by Nova Scotia, and we'll see what Quebec wants to do. Whether they're going to play a hit. Not maybe they might try to freeze down to that one.
What? Really? Okay, we have something very, very interesting that's happening over on sheet 1 between the PEI women's team and Team Nunavut. It appears, because the score has been put up, and they're getting ready for a photograph, that Team PEI just scored an 8-ender. I suspect that's the only 8-ender that's ever been scored in this 7-year event. And I'd be surprised if it's happened very much in any Canadian championship.
It's never happened in there's been 7s, but never an 8.
Yeah. Okay, so after that exciting news, we return our attention back to sheet 5 here. Nova Scotia against Quebec. And they seem to be happy now, just swapping rocks as we come down to the last 5 or 6 rocks of the end.
Yeah, Quebec's not ready to try to press the point by freezing to that rock behind the tee line, but As the game goes on, I'm sure they'll get more aggressive.
Yeah, but this right now, a blank is as good as a deuce. So Monica's going to be going down the ice, getting ready to throw her rock to remove this one and hopefully stay in the rings. So they're just saying clean, so obviously she's on the nose.
Yeah, you always love to hear the command to clean. Nice shot by Monica.
So that brings up the skip, Sonia Simard, and Sonia similarly is going to be asked to remove that rock and hopefully stay in play.
Yeah, in the first end, she had a couple of hits that hit and rolled out, so do a lot for her confidence to hit this one right on the nose.
I think she's right on the beak.
Yeah, good shot.
Well, I could probably predict it's either going to be a 1 or a blank.
Don't go too far on that limb there, Doug.
Okay, if it's more than that, I'll get you a drink.
Deal.
Okay, Monica's set. Is it going to hang on? Oh, yes.
It does so, yeah. Good shot, nice roll.
Makes it difficult for Sonia. Does she hit? Did she draw? What's her comfort?
Still hard to tell.
Yeah.
I think she's playing the hit.
I think she's throwing the out-turn hit.
Yeah.
So they're going hard on it.
Yeah, on it early.
I think she looks good. Got a long way to roll, though. All right, so here with Quebec taking a single here in the second end. At the end of 2, it's Quebec 1 and Nova Scotia 1. We'll be returning in a second to the start of the third end.
Now it's Quebec's turn to try to set up some guards. Mona Leonard throwing an out turn. The ladies are on it hard and early.
So it seems like this Simard team has been together for a number of years, but Mona is probably the recent addition. She joined the team a year and a half ago and was fortunate enough to win the silver in the provincial travelers event last year. And with the rest of the women on the team, I know for the back end, for Jose and for Sonia, this is actually their second time each here at the Travelers National Championships. And they've placed in the top 3 over the past several years. So a tremendous run, obviously, and they're dominant within their club back home.
Yeah, they've qualified for the playoffs. Because the top 3 teams in each pool qualify for the playoffs. The top team in each pool goes directly to the semifinals.
So with the rock in the back of the rings, Sonia's opted to come around that center line guard that she's thrown. Seems to be a little bit out there, but maybe it doesn't have the weight.
We've been down that path many times, so that's all. Yep. It's fine.
Well, that's not as easy as it looks. It's just an open hit. That yellow rock that's sitting in the back 12 is obviously a bit of a catcher.
Yeah, she just got to get across the nose of hair and potentially roll behind the center guard and miss her own rock at the back of the house.
Yeah, but that could be trouble for them if they're not careful, because if she does roll, she gets a low side roll here. She's gonna jam on the back. Nope. But if they did get the low side roll, she'd be behind the tee with that center line guard up, and that would give an excellent opportunity for Simard to just draw around, freeze on one in the sort of the back of the button.
Yeah.
Be tough to get it out of there. Anyway, so they're opting just to hit and hopefully get a hit and a bit of a roll.
Yeah, Guylaine Sauvageau.
Line up the rocks.
And no roll.
They're going to roll a little to the wing.
Yep.
Okay, Cheryl. It's all yours.
And she just picks that out.
Now an opportunity for Quebec to get behind their center guard.
It just set it out a bit. Yeah. And it's so straight.
So as I was saying earlier, that this team's been together for a number of years, and Guylaine is she was a gold medal winner at the the Travelers Provincial Championships this year, obviously to be here. Silver medalist last year, bronze the previous year, and silver medal at this event in 2012. So she's been at the Travelers or participating in the Travelers since 2011, which is a great run for her.
Yeah, great record. And her draw just, Helen's draw just comes to the back of the house. It's wide open for the Nova Scotia hit.
So this is very interesting at this point in time. So yes, this gives a great opportunity for Sonia. Come around that center line guard, and even if she's peeking out a little bit, she's got that yellow rock in the back 8 that can act as a catcher for any possible jam.
As Jose Bedard is throwing the out turn, and they're on it early.
Yep. Go.
So line looks great, just a question of weight. So they made it in for shot, but it's fully open. She just has to be careful here that they're not a little wide and run that red back onto the yellow.
Yeah, they're worried about the jam.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, you can play it tight, and if you pick off the guard, that's not a bad option either.
Oh, I'm inside.
You just heard it. She said she was
Hurry, Cheryl,
inside.
hurry!
So that might be the best thing. They're holding the line. Oh, just ticked it
Just
over.
a touch.
So now Sonia is going to throw up a guard.
Yeah, she was checking to see who was shot. It's pretty close, but
Yeah.
I guess she figures that
Sorry, inside out of my hand.
Yeah,
the red one is in there.
She's got to make sure that this line, because she doesn't want to give her a nice port for them to come through and tap that red out and behind that other guard that's on the left side of that center line. And I don't think this one's going to come over.
It's got to finish hard.
You might as well bring that one right in. And that's what they do. Now there's about a foot separating those two red rocks, so the double's possible, and they may be able to make the double and avoid the jam.
Yeah, the jam's a good possibility here.
Yeah,
too.
she was trying to get the low side roll, but I think she's staying a little high,
A
and
little on the high.
I don't think she's going to like this. So,
Advantage Quebec.
yeah, they're lying 2 at this point. They're looking at what their options are. They're going to draw in and around. Go top 4 around the left side of that center line guard. This is where they got to be careful. They can't go too deep. They could stop this top 12, top 8. They just can't go behind the tee and give Nova Scotia a way to get out of this.
That wrist, that's why if you see a different shot, but I was saying control down, that seems like normal.
So they're going hard for line. This is really starting
Yeah, this
to
is
curl.
really bending, Doug. Yeah.
They're going to try to advance that other red rock.
Well, they got the little flop when it hit the guard, so now Nova Scotia's got to
Come in here.
make a big decision here, whether they try to get in first.
Yeah, we're down to skip stones, so I would think that the preferred option might be to draw around and get into the fully top 4.
Carol.
But as you and I have seen already, Ken, this side of the sheet on draw weight really curls.
It does move a lot.
So the girls are going to have to get on it early to hold it straight, and it will finish.
It's very weight sensitive. So she throws a perfect weight. It should swoop in there.
Line's tight.
So you've heard that line's a bit tight, so they're going already.
Yeah, it looked like she got out to the brush, but maybe she
Yep,
turned it
Monica-
when she
Let it
released
go,
it.
let it go. Go.
Nice thing about Monica's release is she's got it's fairly positive, and she does get it out, and she looks like she's got a pistol if they can get it there.
Finish. Nice brushing, girl.
Very nice shot.
That's an end saver. Great shot for Monica. So that leaves Quebec with a tough decision. Do they try the run back? If they miss it, they give her an easy open draw for 2? Or do they come around and sort of cap it and say, you're not getting a second one in there?
Yeah, got to make that decision whether block off the easy second point or take a chance here. Looks like they're lining up the raise.
Well, this seems to be the straighter side, so she seems very confident in it. Good chance she's going to make it.
La vois-tu, par exemple, la jaune? Non, hein? De même, t'en vois pas? Yep! Yep!
So they're going hard.
Whoa! Yep! Yes!
Got to be close.
Yes!
Very close.
Yes!
Very
Whoa!
close.
Et voyons le vraiment l'évaluer, celle-là!
Oh, what an absolutely fantastic shot.
Great shot. Yep.
Just picked it out, and Quebec is again lying 2.
I wonder if Skip Moriarty's thinking about trying the double here. They've got a couple of little yellow biters.
Well, if she makes the double, she technically could get 3. Risk reward.
Yeah.
You got it. Let's do it.
I love that confidence. It's like, you've got it. Just do it.
Yeah, like you say, risk reward. And I guess thinking is if she doesn't make the double, then she might give up a single.
Yeah. But it's only 1. Game would be 2-1, and you still have the hammer. And we're not even halfway through this game.
Yep.
Not a brush to it yet. It's going to be close.
Hurry
Very close. It's just curled up
a
on
little
her.
bit. Yeah.
Not very far off.
No.
Half an inch. So the point goes to Quebec. They steal here in the third end. So at the end of 3, Quebec is got 2 and Nova Scotia 1. And Nova Scotia retains the hammer going into the fourth end.
And looking across the sheets, we had the excitement of the 8-ender on sheet 1. PEI scored 8 in the first end, and they came back with 6 in the second. So it's 14 zip for PEI over Nunavut. Other sheets on sheet C of Alberta playing New Brunswick, and New Brunswick took 3 in the second. First end was blank, the third end was blank. That's 3-0 New Brunswick over Alberta.
That's the men.
That's a men's game, sorry, yep. Now both those teams are tied at 2-1 in their I'm sorry, no, Alberta is 2-1 and New Brunswick 1-3, so New Brunswick needs a win for sure.
Okay, so here in our game, the Quebec has thrown the lead stone. They're back 12. And so now Nova Scotia is going to throw up corner guard. And they're not touching it, though. They're afraid it's coming in.
4.
So you hear them calling out the number 4. And that means the depth. So the curling house is broken up into 11 different zones. The top in the guard zone, it's 1, 2, and 3. So just in off the hog is zone 1. Middle of the front is 2. Front of the house is 3. Then you got the 12. It goes 4 foot. Then the 8 foot. 12 foot, 8 foot, 4 foot, and then button to 7, and then back. But unfortunately, that Nova Scotia rock slipped a little bit deep as well. So Sonia has called this as a zone 3 center line guard. And they're just dusting that in. Almost perfect.
Okay, Jody, let's go.
So since Monica can't remove that because of the 4 rock rule, she's opted to come in, and she wants to stay top 4 if she can.
Your team. Might be for a little hot. Might be back one.
Again, they don't have a brush to it. Might be a little deep. Looks a little strong.
It's coming down.
Yeah, it's hanging out there and running a little deeper than they wanted.
Wait.
Sony's opted to remove that rock and try to get a little flop under. This one's starting to move.
She got a potential double here, but
Oh, nicely done. So Quebec line 2 did not remove both Nova Scotia rocks. They're lying in the back 12. Okay, so this one's a bit wide. It might actually remove her own rock. Oh, they traded rocks. So with the Quebec stone ready to come, there Quebec is lying 1-2. but they both are in the back of the house, so it's really no major threat to Nova Scotia. But she's trying to place one now in the top 8 foot, and maybe partially behind that center line guard.
Yeah, that's a big draw by Guylaine Sauvageau. She can get this in front of the tee line and at least partially buried.
Weight looks really good, actually, and it's starting to move. That's a very nice rock.
Okay, right to the stick.
So Sonia is going to be asking to remove both those red rocks up front. The downside is Nova Scotia will not be able to go into the house with this rock. They will remain up front at best. This is starting to
I think she got this one started. Actually,
She's probably got the first one in the house, but she's going to roll out.
and jams on her own at the back.
So Sonia's going to be asked to replace that rock that was just removed. I think ideally, Ken, if she could get it about another 2 feet back almost to the edge of the 4 foot and almost fully buried behind that center line guard, I think she'd be in really good shape.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that, Doug. They're not touching this one. It's got
No.
to stop and bend a bunch.
Well, we saw that last one move a lot. Okay, it was a nice throw. Didn't bury, so she's fully out there, which gives Nova Scotia the opportunity to do a run back, or hit and flop and roll underneath that center line guard. Look at that.
Or take them all. Great shot.
Wow, nice shot.
Great triple there by Karen Langlois.
I think that was a bit of a sense of relief for Sonia, quite honestly, because Nova Scotia would have had easy opportunity with those two in the back to draw down, freeze to it, and really put some pressure on Quebec. So Jose removes the rock in the house and then rolls to just a biter on the left side of the sheet.
And Nova Scotia's going after that one little biter.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. She had a couple to choose from. She could have tried to come around, put a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, this one's got to bend to make it just enough to
Just enough.
nudge it out. But now Quebec has the opportunity to get behind the guard that's just off the center line.
And that red rock is actually in a very good place for Sonia if it's still available. It may be a split to lie to end up forcing Nova Scotia to a single here in 4. So Sonia's got a nice rock. It's starting to finish in here. She's going to get a little underneath that center line guard. Top 4.
Yeah, I think I got it all.
Yeah, very nice weight. Just,
Okay,
well, you can see most of that rock.
let's go.
And,
You got it. Okay. Okay.
Monica Moriarty's going to go after it.
Yeah, ideally, I think Monica's wanting to hit and roll out to the wing rather than stay right there and give Sonia the opportunity to hit and roll underneath that center line guard. So we'll see.
Yeah, she absolutely wants to stay. Force Quebec to hit it rather than having another chance to hide one behind the center guard.
No. No. No.
Monica's rock should start to finish here now.
No.
Here it comes.
Little roll. Little roll. Little roll. Okay, it's there anyway.
That's
Nice,
perfect.
Monica.
Very well done.
Yeah, so now if Sonia happens to hit and roll out here, she's got the opportunity to either to blank the end or try for the split. I doubt very much she'll try for a 1.
We're on that right away. Yeah, okay. Nice hit there by
Okay. Got it.
Sonia Simard.
So Monica will look to remove this rock and roll the shooter out of play, blanking the end and taking the hammer into the 5th. And for people that are listening to the broadcast, at the end of the 4th end, we will be taking a short break.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
Somewhere upwards of 5 minutes, depending on the teams on the ice, how eager they are to play the 5th. But we'll be taking a couple-minute break for sure. All right, so the last rock of the 4th end is off. They haven't dropped a brush to it yet. Now they're cleaning it. And she goes right to the nose and ends up taking one here in the 4th end. So after 4 ends, we have a tie game. Quebec 2, Nova Scotia 2, and Quebec will return the hammer in the 5th end. We're here at the Travelers' 7th Annual National Curling Club Championship at the beautiful Ottawa Hunt Club here in Ottawa. We'll be taking a few-minute break, and we'll be right back with you. I'm Doug, and I'm here with Ken, and we'll be back with you in a moment.
This ice is everything. It's where I come. This building helped raise me when my mother no longer could. When I step on the ice, she steps with me. My dad is my rock. We're a team now, like the 4 of us when we step on the ice.
This curling season of champions brings clans from across your native land to engage in a battle of wits on a frozen sheet of hellfire. So go on, live it live.
The Tim Hortons Briar is at TD Place in Ottawa, March 5th to 13th. Be there and live it live.
Well, welcome back. We're just about to start the fifth end. I'm Doug Krevizak, and I'm joined with
Ken.
We're bringing to you the game between Quebec women and the Nova Scotia women in the 7th Levelers National Curling Club Championships here at the Ottawa Hunt Club in Ottawa, Ontario. Close game, fairly conservative, as nobody's really wanted to sort of break out, Ken.
No, they're playing it pretty close to. I think we'll see more
Let's do it.
more aggressive play in the second half. Just want to go across the an opportunity on sheet F. We have Northern the Territories playing Manitoba, and Manitoba broke that one open. It was 1-0 after 2. They stole 5 and they stole another 5 in the fourth, so that's they're at 11-0. Territories have yet to win a game. On sheet D, Saskatchewan and Newfoundland women's game, and Saskatchewan stole 4 in the third end, but 3 in the fourth, and so after 4 ends, it's 5-4 Saskatchewan. Sheet C, men's game, Alberta, New Brunswick. New Brunswick took 3 in the second, and Alberta took 1 in the first and third were blanked. It's 3-1 New Brunswick. They're still playing on the fourth end on B. It's a men's game, Yukon versus Northern Ontario, and it's right now after playing in the fourth end, it's 2-1 for. And on sheet A, where it was 14-0 after one end, it's now 17 PEI.
Yeah, you sometimes wonder if that rule at national championships is that you must play 6 ends is really fair sometimes to the teams. At this point in time, I'm sure the team Nunavut would love for the game, and let's move on. But
absolutely.
Anyway, we're here now, and the second rock has just been thrown. Team Nova Scotia just made a nice tap back to the shot. They're in the top 4 in behind a center line guard, and they've got a Quebec rock in behind. So they're setting up pretty nicely. So Quebec is trying to draw in on top of that yellow rock that was just thrown. They're going hard. This one looks like it could move.
We got to work this one hard. It's a little light. A lot light.
So Monica's just asking to throw this up and top 8, and partially in behind those center line guards. I think right now the objective is, stay between the top 8 and tapping that yellow rock back to the pin. Anywhere in there is really good. Well, they haven't laid a brush to this one. Weight looks great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's starting to finish.
To go there now. Yeah.
Look at that.
Very nice.
Absolutely perfect. Sony's got to now deal with that because that's just too risky. I mean, the other option that she's got is rip those center line guards. They're going to hurt her, especially if this one isn't perfect.
Yeah, those guards are offset up front there, so it's a tough spot.
Yeah, a high side double on those. Everything should go. Open it all up.
Yep.
But we'll see what they end up doing here. This looks a little heavy.
Yeah, it's
going back on her one
gonna
in the
miss
back
it
of the
all.
house. And unfortunately, she tapped her rock back far enough where Nova Scotia is lying 1-2 now. And they're looking to steal, so she's going to throw up a tight center line guard and put the real pressure on Quebec. Weight looks really good. They're calling out a 2, which is a midway guard, and this should finish.
We're there. It's there.
Yeah, they don't want that too far back.
No, that does the job.
That's in a great position. So I think Sonia's just asking for that guard to be removed from play. If she gets one of those in the back a little bit on her way by, that's great. But she does not want to keep that red rock there.
Yeah, she's trying to put this back into the two
This is
Nova
over
Scotia.
curling?
Yeah, it curled.
That's
hard.
not good for Quebec.
No, it's looking worse now.
Put it back. Yep.
Well, if Nova Scotia can muster a few more really good guards, and they're sitting in really great shape to steal 2.
It's what Karen Langlois will do here with the
2.
intern guard.
Well, they're calling a 2 as well.
Okay. Oh, it's good.
They're just cleaning
Whoa,
that.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, whoa. Whoa, nice judge.
Another nice rock from Team Nova Scotia.
So Quebec still has the opportunity here to play a angle raise into the 2 counters that Nova Scotia's got.
So has thrown it up, Weight. She's getting close
It's got to curl a bit. Not quite.
and just picks it across. So Nova Scotia will be looking just to replace that guard. I suspect Sonia's now thinking, I've got to draw to the pin. I got to draw to the pin.
Touch more. Touch more.
This one could go.
Whoa, whoa. Take it off.
Okay, that works very well.
Yeah, it
for
sure
Team-
does.
Team Nova Scotia. Even if they make this double, you know, they're just going to have to keep throwing the same guards they've been throwing for the last 3 rocks and really put some pressure on Sonia.
Maybe possible to hit this one and raise it back into that pile. It's awful close.
That's tough.
Yeah, very.
Yup!
No, they're playing the double all the way.
Yeah. Well, they got what they wanted. So Monica's just going to replace that guard. Zone 2, Zone 3, either will work as long as it's close to the center line.
She's got a problem with her mic. This one? Yeah, Monica.
It's only the thirds that are mic'd.
She was fiddling with it.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Looks like what?
We don't think Monica's mic is working or she's fiddling with it.
And Monica's guard is coming down just about perfect.
That's an excellent guard.
I think the mercy rule kicked in on sheet A. PEI and Nunavut, they played 4 ends and no, they're in their 4-end break.
They're in the 4th end break.
Yeah, they are a little bit behind because after the 8 end there was a lot of pictures taken, so they got delayed. But yeah, they're still playing.
So a lot of conversation going on with Team Quebec. They're trying to determine, do they go in now and try to lie shot on the button, or do they try another run back? So it looks like the discussion is they're going to go for the draw now. And if she doesn't make it, and if Monica can throw another, well, actually, if she doesn't make it, depending on where it is, Monica capped that whole left side of the sheet to lie 3 and make it very difficult for Team Quebec to score at all.
Yeah, not to say the game's on the line right now, but the game could be on the line right now.
Yeah, especially a steal, but 3 points in the 5th end in a tie game is absolutely huge.
Mm-hmm.
So giving herself lots of ice. They're putting it on the edge of the 12-foot.
So here it is, big shot for Sonia Simard. In turn draw.
That's going already. I think she got lots of line, but my gosh, that's going hard. It's going to lose a lot of weight with all that curl.
Yeah, it's a long path with the big swing.
I mean, they're working hard, but they're not going to get that even into the 12-foot. So now with that rock there, if Monica can throw one top 4 on the left-hand side and even partway around the rocks that were just thrown, she may even steal 3.
Looking at 3, yep.
I mean, I guess Sonia, depending on if we continue to go up the left side here, and she makes a perfect shot, Sonia might have the outturn draw on the right side just to get full 4-foot and in order to get the 1.
Yeah, the way it curls, she's got both possibilities. But if she's looking at 3, just makes it a little tougher.
It does, especially this whole end. We have not seen an outturn.
No, they haven't played that side of the
Not
sheet
at all.
all.
So after the 5th end break, that side hasn't been rebroken down. It's probably stiffened up a wee bit. Who knows?
Okay.
That's interesting. She's cut down her own ice from the last rock by about 6 inches.
Yeah, I was just going to say that's a little less ice.
Yeah, it is. So I'm wondering if she's just thinking guard all the way.
Yeah, miss it short.
Nice shot, Pam. Where?
Well, Monica threw that well. She was full to the broom, which is good. If you're going to be anything on this type of ice, you want to be a bit full. Line looks great. Weight looks good.
It's moving.
They're not touching it though. That's now starting to overcurl. They were playing guard all the way.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's going to force Team Quebec to throw the outturn draw. And this will be a bit of guesswork, I think.
Absolutely. Like you said, hadn't played this side of the sheet at all, and after the 4th end break, be tough to know what weight to throw here.
Yeah, and how much curl? Because in the early ends, we saw the curl fair a bit, but inside kind of the 4-foot line, where they've got the broom outside middle of the 12-foot.
12. So she got out to it.
Yep.
They're on it right away.
They're going hard. It's curling.
Oh, yeah, that's
No.
it ain't gonna work.
No. So that means that it looks, they'll kick the rocks away, but it looks like it's a steal of 2 for Nova Scotia. We'll confirm that in a moment.
Nice hit.
And the score is just going up on the board, and it was a 2, steal of 2 for Nova Scotia. So at the end of 5 ends, Nova Scotia is now up 4-2. Hammer converts back over to Quebec as we start the 6th end. So Jody's asked to throw top 4. So it's interesting, this team here. Jody boasts that she's the youngest on the team. She's only 23 years of age. She's a student at St. Vincent University in Halifax. And interesting fact about Jody, it's her first time ever on an airplane coming here to Ottawa.
Oh, really?
Yes. You think anymore in this age of travel, everybody's been on an airplane, but no, it was the first time for Jody.
Vraiment large, là.
So Jody's Rock slips in only to the 12-foot. It gives a great opportunity for Quebec to throw up a tight guard.
All right.
Yeah, and she actually comes in the corner freezes on
Okay,
the
trust the broom.
Nova Scotia Rock. Not all bad.
I don't know. If I was Nova Scotia, I might nail that Red Rock and get rid of everything. Because
Yeah.
that's not helping you, and they're staggered. So if Quebec happens to draw around that to the top four, it's going to be tough to get it out of there.
Exactly.
D'après moi, c'est large.
So Jody's Rock is a little heavy and slips to the back 12 and maybe out.
I got to touch more.
Yeah, so
J'irais frapper ça tout de suite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ça te tente pas de la taper de suite, non?
Interesting call to throw the corner when you've got those two there. Because if that corner slides too deep, it's going to be really difficult to get around and bury behind the corner. You might want to revert to maybe throwing a center line, because you've got those staggered guards now, and play for your deuce in the 4-foot.
Yep.
yeah, an interesting call for sure.
Okay, we got to take advantage here.
Yeah, see, I'm not sure that corner helped them at all. It's not wide enough. You can't get around it unless you come with a wide in turn around.
There.
As-tu l'impression d'être un pied à côté du balai? Ou... Non? OK.
So Nova Scotia's play will be simply just remove red rocks now.
Yeah, Cheryl's is going to try to peel this one out of here.
They got to go hard if they want to lose the shooter on top of it.
Go, Jody.
All right, they just swap sides.
Right.
Nice.
Ouais. Avec un roule l'autre bord. Ça, ouais.
So Quebec's going to make a play on the two rocks at the front of the 12-foot, trying to.
I find that a little interesting.
Yeah.
That they're tapping this trying to come around it. You've got the staggered guards, or I mean, they're in the 12-foot, but for all intents and purposes, they're guards.
Yeah, leave that staggered guard there and come around it, and you still have the play later on in the end, possibly.
So,
And that was not a good one.
no, I mean that Red Rock might actually be on, but I don't think Nova Scotia has really anything to worry about. Their yellow rock popped in behind that corner guard. So Monica's actually going to go at it and try to hit and roll.
Ah, elle enlève.
It's got to move a bit, but
Pretty good ice.
yeah,
Pretty good ice there.
I think we might actually have a flash here.
Yeah.
Yeah, just didn't move as much on that side.
That's what I told her. I said, come to the end. Yep.
So Sonia's playing the come around
Ça fait fort,
that
fort.
guard that's just off the center line. They may have lost this.
Yeah, they looked at that for a little
Yeah.
longer than they should have.
Okay. On the bright side, they still have 2 guards out of it.
Huh?
Okay.
So Monica's going to put some pressure on them right here. She's going to come around that center line guard. And if she makes a pistol, she's going to be lying too. And Sonia's going to be in a little bit
Make
tough.
sure, Cheryl. No.
This
no.
one's hanging out there, Doug. It's got a-
Yeah, and
Make
it's
a
starting
big
to
move
die.
here.
So I think they're going to have 3 guards up there to work on. Not really what Nova Scotia needs is more guards when they're up 2.
No, I was just going to say Quebec loves that shot.
Yeah. Well, if Quebec can make a great shot here coming through the port between those red and yellow rocks, tapping that yellow out and rolling in behind, they're going to be setting up for a multiple score here this end and possibly tie up this game. Looks like this rock's curling a little bit too much,
Yeah, I
though.
think she's over curled.
Oh,
Get a roll and stop.
Yeah, it just rolled a little bit too far, so it's wide open for Monica to hit that.
normal. Okay.
Ideally, she'd like to hit and roll under.
No. No, no, no.
Quite a bit of weight here from Karen Langlois on this hit.
It's coming up to nose. A little off.
Now an opportunity for Quebec to make the hit and roll under here.
Just a little
Yeah, it'll be interesting if that rock on the edge that they chose to ignore, if in fact it is biting. It's too tough for us to tell, even from our
Yeah.
angle.
I think that was a little up. It was a little up.
Yep. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yep. Whoa, whoa. Roll, Guylaine. Roll.
Must be close.
Roll. Whoa.
Lovely roll.
Yeah, great shot.
So now Monica's faced with running back a Quebec rock to remove a Quebec rock.
Non, c'est pas checké, mais elle a joué dessus. Fait que...
Let's do this. Yep.
That's a big question if that rock is biting over there, because I think it's going to come down to potentially a measure for 2.
Yeah, it is really difficult, even with the overhead. You can see it looks like it's out a little bit, but too close to call.
Yeah, the funny angles of these cameras, they're set up right over the pin and they kind of look outward, so it could be just an optical illusion.
J'ai tiré la motion de bombe. Puis là, je
Or that it's our eyes, Ken,
Yeah, it couldn't be that.
despite how young we really are. Okay, so Monica is going to be playing hopefully their run back double. And losing the shooter off to the side a wee bit. Now she pumped it out a little bit. It's got to come up quite a bit.
Yeah, she's a little full. It's coming. It's trying. Not going to work, though.
Well, so now she's opened up the rock that's in the house. If they would have swept that rock a couple of licks, they probably would have picked that one out on the side.
That was very close.
And it would never have come into play as even a measure.
Interesting call here. They're Skip Simard is going to throw her rock. Is calling her to throw it just in front of the counter that they have in the. It's biting the forefoot, but that could set up a fairly straightforward double.
Yeah, it's interesting. I might have thought about just coming around that corner guard, or even splitting the red so that you flop in underneath the corner guard, giving them the takeout, and giving yourself an opportunity for potentially an easy deuce. This is light.
This is very light.
They might get it in. If it doesn't crash, no. So the one in the house is now wide open. So unfortunately here in the sixth end, Quebec has had a couple of really good opportunities to secure a multiple here in this end, but have let things slip away just a little bit.
Yeah, they had their chance for sure. I think Skip Simard, after she threw that one, she was scratching her head trying to figure out what the draw weight is.
La ligne est tricky.
Now, Monica's been throwing well all game. I don't suspect that she's going to have any problems with this rock. She's got a very positive release and should track down there quite nicely for her. And
She wasn't narrow, but they're
No,
sweeping it.
They've got to go. Catches that center line, it may go.
Yeah.
They got to go hard.
After you, Alphonse, trading misses here.
So now that little rock on the edge, that potential biter comes into play. Monica threw that well. I think she just was a little tight on the line.
Yeah, it looked like she released it fine. It just it went awful early. So maybe she turned it in.
So Sonia, at least for two,
Trying to find that draw weight.
and possibly for three. All they've got is get a piece of the paint.
I think they can hurt this one.
I don't think they can hurt this one. I think they better go. They've got it there.
Good job, Sonia.
Okay, so we know it's two for sure, but is it three?
Rien, on n'a pas notre- Three? Yeah.
So it is
Oh,
three.
it's three.
Three red. Yeah.
So, what a turn of events here. And when it looked like Nova Scotia had an opportunity to hold them to one or potentially even steal halfway through that end, Quebec comes back and gets a three and takes the lead here going into the seventh end.
Yeah,
5-4.
That was quite a turn of events for sure in the last half of that end. And we can report first game that's ended after 6 ends. It's Manitoba beating Northwest Territories 12-1.
And I suspect the game on sheet one with Nunavut and PEI will probably be over after this end. They've got a couple more rocks to go in the sixth, with PEI up on Nunavut 20-0.
Jusqu'au bout, jusqu'au bout.
And that'll put PEI at 4-1, and Nunavut will drop to
Good job,
0-5. And the men's game, the Territories now is 0-5, and Manitoba goes to 3-1.
So it's interesting. We start here is with Quebec up one, and without the hammer in the first, they end up throwing a center line guard. So now opting to come around that center line guard. Line looks great. Weatheren's got the weight.
And a long way to drag this one.
Monica's coming out to help.
And they got it there.
Don't you dare. Ugh.
Okay.
Good scrubbing,
And they
ladies.
got a third around that center line guard. So Sonia's choosing to ignore that yellow rock that's just in the house, and she's going to opt to draw around her center line guard. Well, it's a good opportunity now that those two rocks are somewhat staggered. This is very tight. This is going to overcurl. It's going to go all the way past center.
Aí va pas, aí va pas.
Turn the other way. Right to the room, Jody.
So that ends up as a corner guard, which actually helps Nova Scotia's cause. So Monica opts to for Jody to come around once again to the top four.
No.
Again, this one looks tight. I think she's all over the guard.
On the front.
Go, Glenn.
Tap it. No. Trust
That's
the
two in a row. There's something very strange happening to that side of the sheet, or they're just not getting out to the brush. And
Yeah, but
Getting
as we
those
saw
rocks started.
2 ends ago when they were, especially when Monica was holding the broom out in the edge of the 12 foot and was making it to the pin,
No, no. Wait,
I'm not sure why they're throwing it sort of mid 8 foot.
yeah, they're even inside the middle to get, but to stop the edge of the 8 foot. This one's tracking a little better.
Maybe a little bit more weight on it.
Pass.
This should finish nicely. As long as it doesn't slip in behind T. And it's going to stop right on the button.
Go, Glenn.
So it's just a little bit back button. Gives Monica the opportunity to come in and just nudge it back a little bit. Nope, she's going to try to do the run back on her rock on the center line guard. Only risk with that is if she happens to be a little high on this and cuts across and hits that red-yellow combination. Both yellows will be sort of out of play. Not helping her cause a lot. And she's wide. They should sweep that and get that one in the middle.
get rid of our own.
Okay. Well, by throwing it in a little bit wide,
Okay.
she removed her own and advanced the red. Red is now, Quebec is now line 2.
Yeah, definitely advantage Quebec now after that shot.
Oh, so get in, just try to come around to the top 4 and just ticked that center line guard. It's getting messy up front. There are 5 rocks sitting within about a 4 foot space. So Monica's opting to try to remove some of this to open it up so that she has an opportunity at least to make a draw on her last one if she needs to. Well, it removed a couple of rocks from play, but it still left 3 rocks really almost just on center, still protecting the rock that's sitting on the button of Quebec.
Yeah, that looks a little better, but not really. See, they've got that brush moved out closer to the outside edge of the 12-foot now.
Right.
As this one moves.
Oh, just garde, c'est large. On attend.
So the line on this one looks pretty good. It's starting to move a lot.
On attend.
You know what's interesting about that? They played guard all along. If
Yeah, it looked like they could have swept that in there.
if they would have got on that
sunk it.
early, that would have been almost frozen on the one that's sitting on the pin. Well, even a steal of 1 here in 7 by Quebec puts them up by 2 going into our final frame. Okay, that was actually quite helpful for Nova Scotia, as Nova Scotia removed one of the Quebec stones. Their Yellow Rock rolls into the 12-foot, lying second shot. But now they've got a couple of options to run back. And as we've seen earlier in the game, for these curlers, the run backs are a good possibility.
Yeah, now they've got a chance, Nova Scotia, to get out of this. It's an important guard here for Quebec. Trying to block off both those potential raises.
Juste un peu moins. Juste un petit peu moins. Remets ton balai juste un petit peu moins large. Moins large. Merci.
A big shot here for José Bedard, trying to make the perfect guard on very swingy ice.
Yep.
I think this one's going to move.
Yep. Whoa, whoa. Yep, finish. Yep, yep. All the way. Yep, 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 yep. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go.
Well, that's a pretty darn good guard. Makes it really tough to do, even that raise back. That's the one that's on center.
Okay.
I think Monica's got to go after it. If you miss it, you're going to pick out one of the guards. Give yourself a better opportunity at the next one.
Yeah, this could be a saver right here. It's a tough shot. Got to be.
Hey, if she makes it, she's going to be lying too.
Yep.
Wait. Wait. Close, close.
She's very close.
Trying to move.
She's very close. I think she's got it. What a pistol. That was a little bit of hold your breath and patience, and that just finally finished from the hog line in. And Nova Scotia makes an absolute pistol.
Game saver.
Yep.
Right there.
So what's interesting here is what is the choice of Quebec? Do they hit the open one to limit Nova Scotia to 2, potentially, and get the hit in the roll to hold them to 2? Or do they go hard to try to get that one off the center? And I don't even know if Quebec can even raise one of their rocks. I think that it's tough to raise that one on the left side of the sheet and still hold it.
Yeah, that's a real gamble right there.
Yeah, and if they happen to go a little low and miss it, then Monica's drawing another one around, and a 3 is in play. And I would say probably the game is in play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ah, il va. Juste à peine off nose, quasiment à nez. C'est quasiment à nose. OK. Regarde, sinon, on aura l'autre.
Well, we can report while the ladies are looking at this. The game on
Normal.
sheet A is mercifully over. Ended up PEI 21, Nunavut 0. Big shot. They're going for the raise here, Doug. Game could be on the line for sure.
This is where your skip's got a lot of confidence that she's going to make the shot.
Je sais pas. Non? C'est toi.
Okay, it's off.
Yeah,
They're going hard. It's moving. I think it's going low. It's close, but I think it's low.
Let's cross the nose.
Yeah. Okay. So now the issue with that is now Monica's got an option of coming in and putting a lot of pressure on Sonia, and you know what? A three's in play.
Yeah, and if she sinks this one, it'll be interesting to see what Quebec tries to do because
Well, I don't think that Sonia has any option. She's going to if she can bury one here, she's got to hit the open one and say, you know, I missed mine. I'm going to give up 3. I need a deuce to carry this into an extra end. But wow. But Monica's got to finish this and not give her an easy double.
Line's great. Where? 12.
Line's getting tighter.
Yep. It's good over curl. Yes.
They're worried about it over curling.
Okay. Here.
So I'm surprised they only called it the top 12. If they would have taken that back another foot,
They
she'd have nothing to hit.
could have sunk it. Yep.
So now there is the possibility of her hitting that and maybe doubling them out.
That perfect double and and perfect double, she'd be shot.
Yeah. So what do we know?
Beats me. Well, they're taking their time looking at this.
C'est soit lui ou soit qu'on a fait l'autre. On va faire comment? Madame l'arbitre, ref! Arbitre! Go to see.
So it looks like Quebec has called a timeout. In these games, each team starts with 30 minutes and to play all 8 ends. Right now, Team Quebec has essentially 5 minutes left on their clock, where Team Nova Scotia's got nearly 7. There should be plenty of time for both teams to complete it, but just to be safe, Quebec has called their first timeout.
Mais, tu sais, c'est sûr, ça dépend où qu'on va. Toi, t'essaierais pas le double, t'essaierais pas. Ouais, mais
Oui,
tu sais,
mais tu sais, mettons là, parce que oui, on peut l'essayer, mais
mettons qu'on est trop plein, on va
vraiment mince.
rouler.
Oui, c'est ça.
Mais tu sais, y a-tu vraiment un risque qu'on passe dans le fond?
Et là,
Pas de temps. Pas tant que ça. Il n'y a pas un énorme risque qu'on essaie de la pointe.
So it's interesting now that they're looking at the open one as well.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot here.
Well, you know, it's always possible to hit that one that's open, roll across. You probably will not get shot out of it, but you can get second shot. Then you make it really, really difficult for Monica to draw in there to get her second point. So if she makes a beauty hit and roll, she could hold this to 1 and come back home with hammer tied.
All tied up. Yep.
Dans la tête, en tout cas, mais j'irai avec un normal.
Okay, timeout's over. They've discussed. They're going to play that in off.
Whoa, no!
So she's thrown it a wee wide.
She was yelling before she let it go.
It's almost to nose. It's trying. No. So right now, Nova Scotia is line 2, and Monica has an open draw on the left-hand side for her 3rd point. So even if she comes up to her rock, which is in the full 12, if she comes up and bumps it, she's likely going to get her 3rd point.
Yeah, there's enough room there. She can just touch her rock and still be 3.
Line's tight.
Lighten's very tight.
Gotta be sure.
So I don't think they can hurt this. They should scrub this the entire way.
Go hard. Hurt. Hurry.
Yeah, they're holding this. Got the weight.
I think so. I
Yeah,
think she's
yeah,
good.
it does, yeah.
And she does it. Taps hers back, lie 3. So Nova Scotia takes a 3, gives a 3 in 6, takes a 3 back in 7, and now Nova Scotia is up 7-5. Quebec has a hammer in the 8th end, coming home.
Okay, girls. Let's go. You got it.
So this is where Nova Scotia is saying, okay, no guards, no guards. In or through, in or through.
Top 4.
So ladies, you can't hurt it.
Come on up.
Making them work for it.
Yeah, I don't think she's not heavy, that's for sure, and I think that's his own 3 guard. Oh, are they going to get it in?
Not quite.
No.
Nice shot, Monica.
So the problem with that is that's only helping the Quebec team. So it'll be interesting to see if Monica, if Quebec is successful to throw the corner guard, if Monica goes up, pulls that out of there.
Takes her out her own, right? Yeah.
Okay, so Quebec has been successful to throw the corner guard. It's a good position. Now, what will Nova Scotia do?
Yep. Let's raise it.
So the girls are talking. They want to tap that yellow rock up, which really doesn't do anything. You might as well draw. If you're going to tap it, you might as well draw. Draw's a lot easier.
Okay.
And
4 foot, Jody.
but it's interesting how sometimes there's always that resistance to taking your own rock out of play.
Yeah, you got to play the scoreboard, right?
Absolutely. So I think that the better call at this point would have actually been to peel out my center line guard.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, they're coming around and a rock going to the back of the house, so that's not good for Nova Scotia.
No, and it ends up back 8 in behind that center line guard. She's getting happy right now. She comes around that corner guard. She's got all opportunities to get a deuce and potentially a 3 here. Okay, she's a little full on this. I don't think that's going to get behind that corner guard. She actually might be tapping the yellow rock in. That's the center line guard.
Yeah, this is a little hard.
Ooh.
Ouch.
Yeah, she pumped that center line guard directly in behind the corner guard. So now Monica can start removing the guards, the Quebec guards, easily. So the girls are just cleaning this now. Removes the corner guard. Rolls into the rings. Nova Scotia lies 3.
But now Quebec can make a play on that rock in the top 8 foot. Looks like they're going to try to come to it or maybe bump it a hair.
That's a lot of line.
And it's not light. Well, no, the weight's pretty good, I guess.
It's moving now, though.
Yeah.
I think it's just a little hair heavy.
Just real quick, we've had a couple of games ended early, but coming home on sheet 2, it's tied up 4-4 on Northern Ontario and the Yukon Territories. We got another tight one on sheet D, the women's game, Newfoundland, Labrador, and Saskatchewan's tied up 6-6, with Saskatchewan having last rock. And
Wow, Nova Scotia got a little lucky there. Rock over curl, a little tight on the release, and just picked it out.
yeah, Quebec's got to make 4 good shots here, and this one is not one of them.
No, a little late. Little late. So at this point, I mean, yeah, there are a couple of options. Monica's looking at just drawing in on her yellow rock that's in the top. The one I'd be more concerned about is that back rock, freezing on it.
You can freeze onto that one.
And you're in the 4 foot. You know, there's no harm in peeling that out. Once again, it's tough to peel out your own rock.
She doesn't need any more points.
She does not. And you really don't need any more rocks in play because you got enough. So you either rip the guards that are up there or you potentially remove the one that's going to harm you, which is that one on the back. Rock into the 8 foot ahead of that. Difficult to remove both those yellow rocks. Sonia's got to be thinking a little bit more about how do I score rather than how do I remove the other team's rocks.
Yeah, absolutely.
She needs to. She needs to. So right now, if she can draw around those 2 yellow rocks in the 8-foot and being on the tee line and 3/4 buried, biting the 4-foot, she's shot. Very difficult to get at.
With staggered guards in front of her, yeah.
Absolutely. And then, even on her final rock, she can draw down to the one that's in the back and secure her deuce and then go to the extra end. But by looking at this and looking at trying to remove yellow rocks from play, she's actually only helping Nova Scotia.
Yeah. Got to use what you've got here, and she's not doing that with this call.
Yep. Whoa. Yes. Yes. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Okay, so she succeeded in removing the 1 yellow rock and moving the other one around. But for Monica, all she really needs to do is start removing that red rock.
Yeah, get the red out.
Yeah, but she needs to stay in front of the tee line. She's got those 2 yellow ones behind the tee. And because they're close together, they can really come into play here for the last couple of rocks for Quebec.
Oh, yeah, there's a little pocket there now for Quebec, potentially.
Oh, this one's starting to go. This one may have caused the red to jam on the yellow.
Oh, she's going to make it by.
Is she? Okay. That worked out well.
And now Quebec has the opportunity here to
Yeah, they do. Yeah, it was, and they've got options.
score a couple. Yeah.
So if they, if they're wide or narrow, they've got 3 rocks they can play with.
Yeah, they're working this one hard.
It's not heavy. That's in the rings, but
Got to be on the inside of this now.
I think it's going to be 4th shot. Did they get? They might have got third
shot.
out of it.
Yeah, their 3rd shot anyway.
Okay, so Nova Scotia calls timeout as they consider what options they have available to them.
Oh, their 2nd shot.
Are they? They are. That's not a hard one to remove, quite honestly. If they stay nose to high side, both the red and the yellow should both go and go across the top of those back yellows.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, this could easily go to an extra end. Even if Monica's successful in removing this red rock, we've still got 2 more red rocks to come, and there's going to be 2 yellow rocks in behind the tee for them to freeze to.
And you got to think the Quebec's got their next shots planned. They've only got 1 minute and 27 seconds left for the next 2 shots. Shouldn't be a problem. You still have a timeout.
They do. So they got to keep this high. Looks like it's starting to move. Okay, Monica was not successful in removing that, and the Quebec stone is lying shot. But Quebec's got to be Okay, Quebec's calling a timeout because Quebec's got to be really think this thing through, because if they try to freeze up against that open yellow rock, they could easily set up a double.
Set the double if it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Well, we're supposed to be quiet during these timeouts so we can hear the players, but I think we're having mic problems out there. Because I can't hear anything.
No, I can hear you. I don't know if there's any really good options for them. If they go on center line and top four, which is what they're thinking about, they're going to lose they'll likely lose the top one, that's objective. If they pump it back onto the red and yellow, it releases the yellow. Yellow's gone, so it makes the second shot easier.
Yeah.
So I think we're looking at well, we will find out.
Well, they're trying to keep three in play, right? And so maybe throwing it there and hoping that she hits it and jams on one of the yellow ones at the back, and she draws for the win.
Well, here she goes. So she's just drawing down to top four, center line. Line's good.
Top 4 sûr, hein? Top 4 sûr. Oh.
Looks like it's got enough weight.
Attention, reste proche.
It's more than she wants.
Pretty close to what she wanted, but it's open. And Monica can throw the hit. Actually, if Monica throws the hit and just flops over just a little bit, makes the removal of that difficult, the shot rock difficult, without losing the shooter.
Yep.
Then the game is Nova Scotia's.
Just real quick, the game on Sheet D just ended. Saskatchewan beats Newfoundland Labrador 7-6. It's a ladies' game. Saskatchewan's now 3-1. Newfoundland Labrador is now 1-3.
Okay, here's Monica's last rock. She's just looking to pick this. Oh, it's starting to move.
It's moving big time.
Yep.
Jam.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
That worked out great.
So after the dust settles, Nova Scotia is lying 2, and they're across the house from one another. And there's not much of that yellow rock that she can see. She's got to hit close to a third of that yellow rock in order to cross house double. And I don't even know if she can remove that without it jamming on her red. So a 1's possible. I'm not sure a deuce is possible here.
That is a long double. They're rushing to get this one off.
Yes.
She's thrown it as best as she could. But that needed to come up.
Yeah,
So,
too thin.
Nova Scotia steals 1 in the 8th end to end the game. Nova Scotia 8, Quebec 5. I'd like to thank you very much for listening to Ken and myself. I'm Doug Krevizak.
And I'm Ken Thompson. I just want to remind you that tomorrow our draw 11 is at 9 o'clock. It'll be a men's round robin game. Saskatchewan against Nunavut.
And thank you for listening to the Travelers Curling Club Championships live from the Ottawa Curling Club in Ottawa. Thanks very much. Good night.
Good night, folks.